And thank you all who are dedicating some time to learn about what StudentAid.gov is, who is it intended for, and what does it do. We're excited to have you here today to talk about this wonderful website that is geared towards students and parents. Now, if you are a college, career, or a higher education professional, we do have abundance of information directed toward you. If you're in higher education at a college, university, or career school, please feel free to check out our Partner Connect site. And if you are a college or career professional, please feel free to check out our FSA toolkit. If you're interested in learning more about how to navigate that particular site, please check out our video on YouTube on our handle, FSA Outreach. Now, to jump into StudentAid.gov. Now, on your screen, you see the agenda where we're going to navigate what is StudentAid.gov. We're going to do a live walkthrough and demo, navigating each tab so you can see what kind of resources and information and type of content that we have for those particular headers and selections. We're also going to provide a walkthrough on how to create an FSA ID. So if you're nearby your desktop, or you're joining us with your laptop or your iPad or your particular tablet or phone, you can tag along with us as we walk through on how to create an FSA ID. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about the tools and resources that we have to provide to each of you, whether you are joining us as a student, a parent, a college or career professional, or a particular one of both. You can feel free. Hopefully you can learn something. And don't forget, if you learn something, share something. So let's start out with what exactly is StudentAid.gov. Now, here at Federal Student Aid, well, we are the largest providers of financial aid with providing over $125 billion in financial aid to all the aspiring, current, and former students and parents that are attending college. Now, we've put together a site that is dedicated for students and parents. So if you're a college access professional, that you're well seasoned, you've been in this industry for quite some time, you can always direct students and parents to this particular site. Or if you want to check out and learn something, you can take some of our links and send it to some of the students if they have particular questions, or as you're trying to learn and navigate this new faster changes as well. Now, also with this particular site, this is the official United States Department of Education portal for federal student aid. Now, here on this site, you can submit your FAFSA information. Not only do you can go to FAFSA.gov, but you can also visit StudentAid.gov as well. And if you're joining us because you're learning about this process or relearning about this process, you can always check out this site to learn about federal aid and grants and so forth. Now, if you are a potential borrower or you're a current borrower having to take out loans and you need to complete what's called entrance and exit counseling, you can come to the site and do so as well. Now, if you are a current borrower, or you're currently looking in repayment, you're currently in repayment, and you're just trying to get an understanding about the types of repayment plans and so forth, or ones that fit your financial profile, then you can go ahead and come to this website as well. If you're looking to find information about colleges, the types of aid or eligibility and repayment loans, repaying back loans, you can come to this site as well. You can also find out on who's servicing your loan as well. Guess what? You can come to this site as well. And lastly, if you're just trying to access your FSA ID or your student aid account and visit your dashboard and look around to see how much loans or grants have been dispersed onto your account, guess what? You can come to this site as well. So it's not just for a one-stop shop, or it's also a portal, so you can access varying parts of information depending upon where you are. Now, I know that was a lot, but guess what? You don't have to sit back and just listen to me. You can also check your screen and walk with me as we navigate this particular site. So we're going to start out with StudentAid.gov, and then we're going to go ahead and go to creating an FSA ID. So when you go to the site of StudentAid.gov, it can probably look confusing if you haven't been here before, but don't worry, we're going to break this down for you. Now, on your screen, on the upper left corner, you're going to see our logo. Any part of the pages that you click on and you are now opening up a new tab or a new window, you can always click this button to return back home. Typically, when we have big announcements, you'll see on the header over here of what we want to just notify you of. You can always click on here to find out more information as it pertains to the information that we have available to provide. On the upper right-hand corner, you have the Help Center. I'll come back to this in a second. That's just also a way of where we put most of our articles and information. It's an easy way to search information and get to access to the pages that you're looking for. If you're running into any issues as you have it, if you have it with the college, university, or career school, please feel free to submit a complaint to our ombudsman group, and they'll be able to look into your complaint further. It takes some time for them to review it. It doesn't take 24 hours, but we do have a method of communication with our ombudsman group as well. And if you're English or a Spanish speaker, you can come over here and you can navigate the various languages as it pertains to the page itself. Now, when you come down a little bit further, and all you have to do is hover over it just a little bit, and it'll provide you additional information. Now, on our FAFSA form, we give you information about completing the FAFSA form, especially that's very important when if you're very unfamiliar with the process, or you have completed a FAFSA or the 23, 24 FAFSA, and you now have to complete the new 24, 25 FAFSA form. You can come to this section to learn more about it, to learn exactly the different changes in how to fill out the FAFSA form itself. Now, we also have information as it pertains to FAFSA deadlines, and we'll get into what that looks like and what it pertains to you. Now, if you're coming back because you have already completed the FAFSA form and you need to renew it, you can come in here and do so as well, in addition to correcting your FAFSA form as well. But also keep in mind, the last section you see is on learning about the StudentAid.gov report, and we're going to go ahead and increase the font just a little bit for folks. Now, that is also changing to a summary, to a submission summary, where it's going to exactly explain your SAI, your student aid index. Again, that's another change that's occurring for 24 and 25, is that we're moving away from the EFC, which is the expected family contribution, and we're moving to the term student aid index. Okay, so just understand that those terms are changing as well. You can also highlight the loans and grants, and if you're trying to obtain a loan, we give information whether you're undergraduate or graduate. We also give information about PLUS loans. We have two types of PLUS loans when it comes to our PLUS loans. That's the Grad PLUS loan and the Parent PLUS loan. Now, graduate and professional students, that's the Grad PLUS loan. Okay, that's for students that are currently enrolled in graduate or professional studies. Now, the Parent PLUS loan is a loan directly for our parents. That's a loan that you take out on the behalf of the student. The funding doesn't go directly to you, goes directly to the school, and then the school proceeds to administer the PLUS loan itself. Again, you're taking it out on the behalf of the student, and you're responsible for the repayment of the Parent PLUS loan. But all loans that you take out, you do have to complete what's called a master promissory note. The acronyms for that is MPN, excuse me. Now, if you're required to complete the MPN, you can come directly to StudentAid.gov, click on Master Promissory Note, and walk through the procedures as it pertains to that. Now, we also have the interest counseling as I stated, but we also have credit counseling as it pertains to if you are declined a Parent PLUS loan or a Grad PLUS loan as well. We also have ways you can appeal a decision, and if you ever come across that particular, if you're fit that profile as well. Now, we do have information for those that are interested in Pell Grants and Teach Grants. Now, Pell Grants is really aligned with your SAI. We would typically let you know if you're eligible on your submission summary. Now, if you're a teacher looking to pursue a credential, whether it's a bachelor's degree in teaching, you can check out our Teach Grant as well. In addition, for those that are interested in try to navigate this process to see how much aid you may be eligible for, we do have a calculator for the Federal Student Aid Estimator, as well as if you're a current borrower as well. And we'll come back and revisit this. And lastly, if you're looking to learn about financial aid, you can always come here and do so and learn more about it. Now, if you're currently in loan repayment, we have 3 different sections available for you. Number 1, what you need to know when applying. We have tools and calculators to help you if you're in terms of repayment. And if you're looking to learn more about information in terms of repayment plans, you can come here and also find out more information too. And lastly, if you're past the part of repaying and you want to be considered for loan forgiveness, we do have a plethora of information, whether you're going or you want to apply for a public service loan forgiveness program, which is typically our PSLF. We also have teacher loan forgiveness and borrower defense to repayment as well. But we also have various types of loan forgiveness programs that we encourage you to check out these tabs to learn about more information as it pertains to that as well. Now that is the headers. So if you recall, about 5 years ago, those looked a little bit differently. And we wanted to simplify the look to make sure that we are meeting your needs and getting access to the information. So when you come down a little bit further, you'll see we see our information on our popular topics that can vary. It could be on student loans. It's going to change, of course, when the new FAFSA is released for the 24-25 FAFSA form. You can come here and get access to information. You can also come and engage with Aiden. That is our bot where you can come in to have a discussion. You can ask Aiden a question and you'll get reference to the link to. You can click on that and be able to get access or a direct link to where you're looking for as well. Now, when you scroll down a little further, that's where we have a tab breaking down to where you currently are. Number one is that if you're considering schools, that's where majority of students typically come when utilizing this particular site. Those are for students that are just thinking about school. It's not just your traditional senior in high school. You can be a parent, you're interested in going back to school. We can be an adult learner, which indicates that you're independent above the age of 24 and so forth. And you want to come back to school as well. Or you want to go to school for the first time. So if you're just considering school, no matter your profile, this is a great place for you to start. Now, when you come to this particular section, for all the particular tabs, we have popular topics. We have checklists to help you navigate where you think you are with things that you start thinking about. Now, they're not the only checklist that you should be looking at. You should also use this in combination with other information as you're doing your research. So we want to just click on this to just give you a look about what it does look like. So when you click on to get the checklist, you're going to scroll down. And we have checklists if you have a child or a student in elementary school, in middle school, and in high school. And if you're in high school, you can click on any one of these checklists to find out information of things that you should be doing. Like, for example, if you're in your 12th grade year, we let you know things that you should consider doing. And so you can check out this website to see if check if you are doing it in your fall semester, your spring, and see things what you should know. As you're navigating this process as well. We do have information available to you, the parent, or if you're joining us as a parent or a guardian, that we welcome you to check out and read at your leisure as well. So we also have a student and we have a parent checklist. Now, if you're a student in the 9th grade or you're a parent of a 9th grader and you're saying to yourself, I have 4 years. Well, now is the best time to learn about the process, to learn about the terminology, but also check out our checklist for 9th graders. And you can see what our to-do list or what we suggest our to-do list for your student may be, or if you're joining us as a student, go ahead and check out what we have as a checklist to look more information is discovering what kind of careers you want, what kind of schools they have to offer, what kind of courses you need to look into. We do have a college scorecard where you'll be able to compare schools, you'll be able to compare the graduation rates, what's typically the income after students are graduating, what is their default rate, for students that are defaulting on federal student loans as well. So please feel free to check out our college scorecard. We do also have a video that's on the college scorecard on our YouTube channel. So please feel free to check us out at FSA Outreach. Now, when you come down, we also have information about the parent as well for parents of 9th graders. Now, if you're in grad school, we do have checklists available for you if you're adult student, as well as if you're a last minute trying to hurry up and get all that paperwork in. You never want to wait until the last minute, but we do understand that life happens. So you want to make sure you check out our checklist and we'll see what we have to offer. Now, if you're already completed and you're ready to head of the game, you are absolutely terrific, and we applaud you. But we encourage you to check out our other checklists as it pertains to the next level up. We do have information on choosing a school, finding the deadlines, and comparing student aid offers as well. So for the nature of this presentation, let's sort of explore you're finding the FAFSA deadline for your particular state. So when you click on FAFSA deadlines, if I'm a student, I'm going to say I live in the state of Iowa. So special shout out to our friends and family over in Iowa. You want to also select the year that you are enrolling in school. Now, we don't have the option available for 24-25 just yet, but feel free to select the 23-24. But you always good practice to communicate or contact your local higher education authority for the state to find out if they move the deadlines or what their deadlines are for different programs. So you click on deadlines here, and we'll let you know what their state deadline for many of their programs are. If you do have any colleges that are located in the state of Iowa or any state for that matter, you want to contact the college or the financial aid office at the college, university, or career school as well. But we also wanted to remind you what the federal deadline is when it comes to the FAFSA form. Now, typically, if you're looking at the year, you see 23-24, you want to look at the second part of that year, the 24, so it'll be June 30th of 24. Now, for 24-25, if you're getting ready to complete the FAFSA next month, you're excited about it. We are excited that you're excited. So you're going to have the deadline of June 30th of 2025. Again, that's the second part of that 24-25 range. But keep in mind that institutions, colleges, universities, and career schools, and as well as states, have also different deadlines. So you want to try to meet the earliest deadline possible, because that would enable you to meet all the subsequent deadlines, just pending that there are not additional information that they're needed, whether it's documentation and so forth. So keep that in mind as well. But if you're looking into a number of schools and they sort of span over the various states, you can always come down here and select View All State FAFSA Deadlines, and it will give you the deadlines for the priority deadlines for each individual state. Now, keep this in mind. It's very important to know, okay? When we're talking about priority deadlines, there may be some programs in that particular state that has a different deadline than the priority deadline. It could be earlier, it could be later. There may be documentation that's associated with that deadline. So it's important that you do your research as to what state that the colleges, universities, and career schools are located in, and making sure that you're adhering to the earliest deadline in whatever documentation that they need from you. So keep that in mind as it pertains to deadline. Just a little thought. So we want to go ahead and exit out of here. We notice that we're good on that. But if you scroll down a little bit further on this particular page, you still can get connected to the FAFSA form here. You can also get FAFSA help when it comes to learning about information. We'll link you to our help center where you can ask your questions, or you can get linked directly to renewing your form. So we're going to come back up just a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and hit the back button. And we're going to go right back to our page and click right back on Considering School. So if you have passed the part of you looked at the deadlines, you applied with the FAFSA form, now you just want to sort of get understanding about comparing your student aid offers. We have a number of information, but a bit of content available to you for you to understand what net price is. Net price is looking at what kind of package you're receiving or offers that you're receiving. So you have your loans, you have your grants, you have any other additional financial aid that you may be eligible for and or receiving, and then you have the price, right? So let's say, for example, in this particular case, a student is receiving $10,000 in terms of their financial aid. The price of the school is $8,000, which means that, hey, you know what? The student might be eligible for $2,000 in terms of a refund going back to the student to use for educational expenses. Now, that's for that particular example, but let's flip it, right? You have $10,000 of expenses, but unfortunately, you're only receiving $8,000 in terms of aid. That means you owe a balance of $2,000. So keep that in mind as it pertains to figuring out what that net price for your school and whether or not you owe, or possibly you will be receiving a refund. So that's a good, helpful information to understand, and to understand what those terms are. Now, as we navigate and we move forward to the next stage, is that for those students that are in school, that are attending a college, university, or career school, we do have information available for you in terms of renewing your FAFSA form. Keep in mind that just because you're in school and you didn't complete a FAFSA form in your first, second, or third year, you can still complete a FAFSA form because each year is treated independently. So just because as a freshman you didn't complete the FAFSA form doesn't prohibit you from completing the FAFSA form in subsequent years. However, if you did complete it in your freshman year or your first or second or third year, you just want to renew your FAFSA form, you can come around and feel free to update your FAFSA form for the year as well. Now, if you're you want to apply for grad school, we treat that as in school as well. If you need to complete an MPN as a new or returning borrower, you can come here and do so as well. And again, we have different steps available to you. Now, if you're joining us as a parent or guardian, don't worry. I just covered information as regarding students that are either considering school and or are in school. But if you are as our parent or guardian, or you're joining here as a community member, a college access professional serving students and parents, there's information for parents too. So we have information for parents that are interested to applying for our Parent Plus loan. If they need to complete an MPM or any type of credit counseling that's associated with the Plus loan, we do have a loan simulator. Now, what our loan simulator does, it allows you to run simulations on repayment plans and find the one that's best fit for you. You're able to also project, hey, I want to complete a number of payments over time. I want to see what my loan amount is going to be if I have the minimum payment, if I make additional payments. That loan simulator is very useful in determining that and helping you find that. And then you can also use the simulator to apply for those particular repayment plans as well. So a very useful tool if you're considering being a Plus loan borrower, if you have current loans as well, and is well available to you. Now, we do have resources that you can check out, whether if you are a parent. And what we go through is looking at different checklists. Again, if your student is in elementary, middle school, high school, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, if you have a student that's in college, we have information that can help you know and help you navigate this sort of complex financial aid process. But we also have a valuable information helping you get started. Common questions that we receive quite a bit is where parents are asking us, when should I get started? When is the earliest that I should start considering? Sometimes you hear wait to high school. Sometimes you hear wait to middle school. But it's always good practice to, once you know that you're having a child, start thinking about college and what college can cost and what you can do to get ahead and prepare. There are some states that have what's called college savings plans, or also known as the 529 plans, and they also have various other college savings plans listed under those particular packages that you can apply for. Now, those will help you save for college. You can check with your financial accountant. They can identify some plans that are maybe beneficial in the ways to help you save for college. We have information in front of you on your screen to help you understand what types of financial aid, what do we mean by financial aid, and what are federal loans versus private loans and the benefits of each. So we have a bunch of information, quite a bit of information that you might find very useful to you. And when we update, we constantly are updating this content to make sure that it's always relevant. So when in future versions of this particular page, you'll be able to see exactly contributor, what does it mean to be a contributor, and so forth, because that is also a new term. So anybody also providing information on the FAFSA form is considered a contributor. So we do have quite a bit of information and resources as it pertains to parents of students, parents and guardians of students. Now, if you're currently in repayment, we have information available to you, especially when it comes to our new Save Repayment Plan. Now, this is a new plan that's really went into full effect for this year. So if you're interested in applying for our Save plan, we welcome you to go ahead and come to our site and apply and send your application along to be evaluated. If you want to know more information as it pertains to that, whether you prefer to read or you prefer to check out our YouTube channel on the Save plan, please feel free to do so. And as one of the models that we always say is that if you learn something, share something. So if you're interested in sharing this within your social media, on your social media platforms, or to your community, within your networks, please feel free to come scroll on down, click this share button, and you'll see a link. Copy that link, and you can go ahead and upload it or paste it onto any one of the social media platforms. We do have a bunch of information as it pertains to different parts of the process itself, estimated monthly payment under the Save plan, and so forth. So we welcome you to check out our information on our new Save Repayment Plan. And if you say, okay, you know what, I'm ready to learn about more information. I want to see if I qualify for public service loan forgiveness. You can come on down to in repayment. You can check that out too. If you're looking to calculate your repayment options with the loan simulator, please feel free to come to this site as well. Now, if you want to apply for public service loan forgiveness, or you want to see exactly how many qualifying payments that you have made are going to be counted toward your 120 qualifying payments, you can come down here and select the help tool. When you select the help tool, you're going to be asked to log in. Don't worry, right now, if I click on it, it's going to get sent to a login. We're going to cover how to set up your account in a few, but you can come here, log in, and then also you'll go through the steps of applying for either PSLF, which is the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, or the Temporary Expanded Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program as well. You only need one application and you'll be considered for both of them. Now, things that you do need when you're being considered for PSLF is that you're definitely going to need your W-2s, or you're going to need what's called the EIN, which is the Employer Identification Number. That helps us identify if the employer is an eligible employer, and we look at the payments that are made during that period of time of employment. So if you're interested in PSLF, make sure you come down and check out StudentAid.gov. Now, that was a lot of information as it pertains to the tabs, but if you come down a little further, you'll see exactly how financial aid works, where you get sort of a timeline. Number one, again, as I stated when we were covering the parent section, planning early is always beneficial. For parents, it allows you to, if it's within your financial capacity, to start saving early for that college education. For students, it helps save funding for yourself. It helps you identify sources of financial aid, of who's providing that, but it also enables you to be able to learn about the process and get ahead of it. Now we do, again, you at the point of when you're filling out the FAFSA form, you fill out your FAFSA form, it gets sent to the school reviews the information on your FAFSA form and then provides you an offer letter. It can happen beforehand, it can happen afterhand, but if it's using information as it pertains to the FAFSA form, then they have to wait to receive that information. Now, very important thing to note as it pertains to offer letters and the FAFSA, we will only send information as it pertains to schools you have elected or have placed on the FAFSA form itself. So when you're going about the process and you're completing the FAFSA form, you can list on the 2425 FAFSA form, you can list up to 20 colleges, universities, or career schools. Now, because of that, when you go in and you put those schools on that FAFSA form, they will be the ones that get sent the information, okay? And then they'll send you out an offer letter afterwards. And then lastly, once you have accepted all the aid, you can get your aid. But if you elected to borrow any student loans, when it comes time for you to repay your loans, that is the final stage in the process. So keep that in mind as well. Now, just like the top header, when you come a little further down, we have the announcements where we already announced. And if you look in the chat, we have also announced the availability of the 2425 FAFSA form and when it's being released. We also have information if you are a borrower and Mohila is your loan servicer program, loan servicer. We have information that we think you should read, in addition to the save repayment plans. And we have additional article and blogs that if you find it of interest, that are very useful to any of you in various stages of this process, that we think that would be very beneficial to you. Now, I know that was a lot, but before we jump into creating an FSA ID, I did want to bring some attention back to the help center. So when we click on the help center, if you're joining us as a college access or career professional and you're assisting students, and whether it's your local high school or your local secondary school or college university, you can come here and you can also check out our FAFSA completion numbers for various states by simply typing in FAFSA completion. By doing so, you'll be able to click on the first option. You scroll down a little bit, and when you scroll down further, you'll be able to select the state and the data by state and territory. So in this case, we're with our friends over in Iowa. We're going to go ahead and click Iowa, and then you're going to see exactly you'll get a report on the various schools that are listed within the state and the FAFSA, the completion by week. Now, typically we run these analysis every other week, but we try to update this bi-weekly. So as we're navigating or going through the academic year, you can feel free to see exactly where your school is. You won't receive the student record level data, but you receive the aggregate data, which is basically the total number of completion for that particular school to date for that particular award year as well. So coming back here, Now, if you already have signed up with an FSA ID, you can simply come in to log in. When you click on log in, you'll be able to see, enter your email, your phone, or your FSA ID username, and then you'll be able to enter your password. Now, if you forgot your username or you forgot your password, that can happen. It happens to the best of us. So we encourage you to go ahead and click forgot my username, and it will be sent to you, whether it's to your email address or to your phone number, and you'll be able to get a code, and then you can enter that code. Then you can go ahead and reset your password. If you forgot your username, you'll be sent the username, and then you go ahead and go to follow the process if you also forgot your password. Because I know a lot of us, if you're like me, you're jumping onto all of these platforms and databases, and you're trying to remember what the username and passwords are. That's perfectly fine. It can happen. So you can come here and just click forgot my username or forgot my password. But if you didn't do either one of those, you can always come down here and click create an account, or you can come to StudentAid.gov and you can create an account at that point. Now, when you create an account, you're going to come here and you're going to hit get started. Now, the first step in our 7 steps is that personal information. This is where we're asking you information about your first name, middle name, initial, last name. If you don't have a middle initial, that's fine. You can just leave that blank. Now, we do ask for your date of birth and social security number. When we ask you for that information is then processed around the multiple federal agencies like Social Security Administration. So that's checked as well. But as well as if you don't have a social security number, that's fine. And what you come down here and do is just select I don't have a social security number. Once you do that, you're going to have a pop-up that comes up saying that your account will be limited, basically saying that this account is without a social security number. So when if you're filling out the FAFSA form, you have to be a U.S. citizen or an eligible non-citizen. Now, because of that, to receive federal financial aid, these are elements that it's going to check against as well. Now, as a parent, you don't need to be a U.S. citizen or eligible non-citizen. That is just for that eligibility for federal financial aid. That is just really focused on the student themselves. But if you are a parent, you can come in and create an account without an SSN or a social security number. Now, the second ID is going to ask you to create a username and a password. So the username is whatever username that you like to select, as long as it's not in the database. So it has to be a unique one. Now, if you're coming in, we suggest you have an email address. The reason why is because when it comes to a student to complete the FAFSA form itself, they're going to set you up as a contributor, and then they're going to also put in your email address for you to get sent notification to do so. Now, if in case that hey, I have an email address, however, I did not receive an email from that particular student as it pertains to being a contributor on his or her FAFSA form, that's quite all right. You can come to StudentAid.gov, log in, and go ahead and you'll see an option to complete, or you're showing that you have been identified as a contributor. So in this case, we already pre-populated all the information from the username, the email, and the password, and you can go ahead and hit continue. We will ask you for your mailing address. In this case, this person is from New York, and they're going to go ahead and enter that. Now, again, we are strongly recommended that you put in a phone number. It just makes it a lot easier for if you forget your password, username, for us to send that information. Also, to increase the security of your account on 2-factor authentication, being able to, when you sign in, you'll be able to get sent a code that you put in the code, and therefore you only have access to your information. So it also decreases the vulnerability of your account. In this case, this person went ahead and put in their account. They can add an alternative phone number if they should desire. We're going to go ahead and hit continue. And then we just ask you exactly how you want to receive communication. Well, one, we want to do it by email. You want to do it by postal mail. It's easier if you do it by email. We're able to get the information to you a lot quicker. If you prefer postal mail, that's fine too as well. Now, we do have optional communication methods. We can check both of them. You can check one of them. That's perfectly fine for us as well. And we also will send it in the preferred language that we do have available. Then we come to the challenge questions. These is increasing the security of your account. These are questions only you would know answers to. We recommend that you don't make it generic. Try to make it unique to yourself, whether you're a student and or a parent. In this case, we went really generic. Whether it's your mother's name, what's the name of our first pet, and what the city we were born in. as well as the make and model of our first car. Again, these are not real answers. These are just example answers. So you can change any one of these answers according to whatever that answer is for yourself. So after you have entered all of your challenge questions, you come down to confirm and verify. This is allowing you to be able to see exactly what information you have listed before you actually sent that on for processing. And then you just you agree to the terms and conditions. Make sure you always read the terms and conditions before you always hit accept. That's just good practice. And then you hit continue. And then remember when I stated about that two-factor authentication, it comes back. When you click verify, you get sent a text code to verify that account. Or if you select the email, we'll verify that. Once one or both have been verified, you are good to go in terms of next steps and so forth. So that is the process in a whole as it pertains to creating an FSA ID. If you are a parent and you have a student in school, both the student and the parent will need an FSA ID. If you are a parent and you have two students in school or going into school, then guess what? Again, parents, you only need one. If I'm a parent, I only need one. Each of my students need one. So no, I don't have to create one for one student and then go back and create another for another student. I just need one. So you just continue and that information will get processed. Typically it takes a couple days, similar to the FAFSA, but it will let you know when it's been verified. So I know I covered quite a bit of information as it pertains to the FAFSA form itself, but that's it in a nutshell for StudentAid.gov. Now we do have some tools and resources. Number one, we welcome you to check out the StudentAid.gov website. Feel free to look and review and to research as much information as you can, because we guarantee you that when you go through all of the pages and finding information may be very, very much helpful for you as you navigate the financial aid process, whether you're a new student, current student, whether you're a parent, or even a borrower in repayment. We also have infographics and content updates and information notifications as it pertains to our social media platforms. So please like us on X, or formerly known as Twitter. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and check out our information on also LinkedIn as well. And before we forget, please check out our YouTube channel at FSA Outreach to check out the recent uploaded videos. At this time, I'm going to turn it back over to my good colleague, Fred Stennis. Fred?
Thank you very much, Isaiah. A lot of information. Thanks everybody for staying in there with us.